Hello, everyone. This is not a video that I particularly am looking forward to making. Uh, Today, me and my parents had to put down our dog that we've had for 14 years. Um, and Some of you may be wondering why I'm making this video. Well, few reasons. One of which I want to sort of make this as a kind of in honor of my dog. My dog's name was Mac, and I don't know. I feel like I've said this in the past. YouTube has a lot of different. I do YouTube for a lot of different reasons, and one of which is to record my experiences, things that not only for the shows that I watch, the games that I play, but it'd be remiss to not, capture how I feel in this moment as well. You know, so I can look back at it years later, and it's a time capsule. And you don't just take the good memories; you take the bad ones too, and they're not bad memories per se. It's just sadness. So if I'm a little all over the place in this video, I apologize. I also hope I don't cry too much in this video. God knows I've been crying enough the past couple days. So I guess I'll just kind of talk about my dog Mac and why he meant so much to me and what happened to him. So if you don't want to get sad or just don't really care about a video like this, then that's fine. Just don't need to watch anymore. As I'm talking, I'll try to put images of me and him, or just him, throughout this video. Again, I'm not doing this for, people to have pity on me or anything like that, or for attention. I just want to talk about my dog that I loved for a long time. And it's something I really want to do. So my dog, Mac, we got him in 2004. He was a half Pekingese, half Chihuahua. The personality, really unique personality. How do I describe it? A little bit grumpy, like he'll growl at you. He has bitten me in the past. These are scars that I have on my hand. Now I'll treasure them forever. But he's always like that kind of grouch that deep down, really, he cares about you. And he'll give you a kiss, and you'll know when you feel bad. He'll go over and hang out with you. Many times throughout high school, or when I was in college football or high school football, he would, you could tell when I had a long day, because I would go and I would either sit down somewhere, or like lay down on the ground, just kind of relax after a long day, and he'd come by and like lay next to me, and he. I don't know. It's hard to describe what his personality was like, but truthfully, he was the most unique dog I've ever met in my life. I'm not even kidding. Even ask anyone, like, you can't ask, but everyone who's ever met him, he's just like, they love him, because most dogs are like, oh, I'm a happy dog. I'm gonna lick your face, wag my tail, run around. No, he was kind of one that would like take charge in the house, and he was a small little dog too, so it's really funny. And it's just funny that he was so, like, kind of grouchy. Like, he would growl at you and stuff. But if you've been around him long enough, you'd know when he was growling in terms of, like, just greeting you. It's almost like a cat purr. Like, the way he went about it, he would just, like, growl as, like, a greeting thing. But he would always, like, kiss you or, just things like that. He was very active. We walked him almost every day of his life. So, in terms of exercise, he got more exercise than like some big dogs get. My mom took him hiking. We have mountains out here in Southern California, and he hiked a lot. I'll try to include some images of him hiking, or even a video if I can. So I guess I'll talk about sort of, what happened to him toward the end of his life. So for 13 years, the first 13 years of his life, honestly, literally like no health problems. Uh, it was great in that sense. Occasionally he'd be a little overweight, but like he was so active that he would just lose that weight right away again, or like he was just always happy. But I think about April of this year, he for the first time started to get like health problems. The first thing that happened to him in April, we were worried he had a stroke, but we don't think anymore that's what it was. There's a thing called vestibular syndrome, where a dog will lose their balance and they'll get like a severe head tilt, and they'll be very disoriented and just kind of lethargic. And we were really worried about him in April of this year, and but thankfully, we held out hope. I looked up the symptoms of what he had, and we found out what it was: vestibular syndrome, and it's something they recover from. And he did recover from it. But ever since that time, he always had a very slight head tilt. You could tell, something had happened, but he kind of went back to being normal Mac. But in recent days, it turns out that that's probably not just what it was. So the last few days, like as of 5 or so days ago, he started to eat less. He wouldn't eat at all eventually, and he developed a kind of a breathing problem. He was breathing very heavily, very short breaths, and we were obviously very concerned. We brought him in, and they put him on antibiotics in case it was an infection. Amongst other things, some steroids to help him out. And it turns out, well, based on their what they think happened, they think the vestibular syndrome, originally the one that happened in April, was caused by a brain tumor. And they believe it was probably cancerous, and that the cancer had spread to his lungs, and that was what was causing him this breathing problem. It's kind of wild, because honestly, we didn't really, like up until a few days ago, he had no breathing problems whatsoever, and you would have never guessed that he had we're still not sure if he had a brain tumor or not, but that's what the vets thought. And it makes sense if you add up all the information, whichever. It was either that or he had a fungus infection in his lungs. Either one, very not good. And he was 14, so he has advanced years for a dog, and so either one's not a good situation to be in if you're a dog of that age. We held out hope. I had to work yesterday. By the way, at the time of this recording, he passed away on December 6th. That's today. That's the night I'm recording it. So yeah, I had work yesterday, and he wasn't doing well all day, and he had this breathing issue, and it was kind of getting worse, and we were pretty worried about it. So we brought him to the vet, and at work I found out they took him to the hospital, the pet hospital, and I finished up work, and that night, obviously you're still holding out hope, but we got a phone call from the doctor, and they told us what I told you, that they feared he had, cancer had potentially spread from the brain to the lungs, and that it was, probably near the end for him. And that's something you don't really like to hear, especially over the phone, from a guy you don't know. Your mind can go a lot of places. It can go into denial. It can go just to whatever. Everyone handles bad news differently. So we heard the news, and we thought, okay, well, he's getting oxygen. They were giving him oxygen at the pet hospital, so he was actually breathing comfortably. But they told us, later on in the night, with the night shift, they tried to take him off of it to see how he was doing, and he would automatically revert back to breathing heavy and having a very just tough time. So they put him back on it, and they recommended to us, the outlook is grim. Even if he were to recover from this, he's old. It'd be a long road, and so we went to see him this afternoon, and it was pretty rough. He he was happy to see us, of course, but he had labored breathing. You could tell he was in pain. He had some other issues too, but nothing as severe as what was going on. So we came in expecting to put him down, but once we saw him, we knew it was the right decision, and that's what we ended up doing. So, in our arms, they put him down this afternoon. It's tough. It's tough. And even right now, I'm holding back tears. And I've cried so much the past few days. So, it's the grieving process. I've been blessed enough in my life to where I've never really had loss. I still have both sets of grandparents. I have all my cousins, my sister, and my parents are healthy. So, in that sense, it's been kind of sheltered. I've never really had to deal with loss before. With the exception of when I was younger, I actually did see my dog get hit by a car when I was about 8. And that was actually the brother of the current dog we have. Max was our first dog. He didn't live until maybe even a year old. He got hit by a car. That's a whole different story. I've moved on since then. That's obviously a decade plus ago. I've recovered plenty from that. But then the parents had another litter. And then to kind of help with our loss, our parents decided, hey, why don't we get another one? And that's where we got a Mac. So, I guess the purpose of this video is not only just to capture what just to give some of my thoughts about Mac. From him sitting on the couch out there and just barking at people across the street, or, just when I stretched before a workout, I'll do my stretches and I'll do the foam roller for my back. He'd come by and bring a toy and just outside my reach. So I'd try to snatch it from him, and he'd always try to pull it away. It'd be a little game we played. We'd play catch down the hole. I'd throw these little small tennis balls that have 2. Throw one down there, go get it, catch it, bring it back. We did that as recent as 2 months ago. And it's wild to me that things deteriorated so fast, but that's to drive home the point. And I kind of want to tie this in that, we all have things going on in our lives. Jobs, the schooling, things going on with your friends and family. Just if you can take anything away from this, just take time to really appreciate the moments you have with people that you care about. And I don't know if you can hear it right now, but it's actually raining today. It literally rains where I live probably 2 days of the entire year, and it just happens to be raining today. I mean, I am a religious man. I believe in God, and I do believe that all dogs do go to heaven. So I hope that I do see him again someday. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Like I said, I already did most of my crying. I don't know if you can tell from my face. It's pretty red from me rubbing it away. Today was tough. But, I'll be okay. I'll be okay, and so will my family. It's just tough when someone's been a part of your life for 14 years, and you've loved them, and they've loved you, and you have so many memories together. And, yeah, just don't take any day for granted. Don't take anyone in your life for granted. And that's the purpose of this video, really. It's to capture how I feel on this day, and to just kind of let you guys know that, just appreciate every day. Every day is a blessing. So I know this is a little different than what I normally do on my YouTube channel. Usually it's fun reactions or gameplay and stuff like that. But, you know, I just want to let you guys know I probably won't be uploading any videos for a while. I mean, not only is this going to take some time to kind of recoup from and just kind of breathe and get my feet from under me again emotionally. My sister's wedding is in 10 days or 11 days. So, you know, there's that too. And I know, wild timing. And then obviously the holidays. Holidays will be tough without a member of our family. So, Mac, if you can hear me in heaven, just know we all still love you. And, yeah, thank you for all you've done for us. And thank you for the 14 years that you blessed us with your, just your joy. And, yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. And, thank you guys for watching. I know a lot of you out there probably lost pets as well. It's not easy. So, I hope you guys gained something from this. And, I normally have my outro about having a mighty day, but I just want to say, everyone have a blessed day, okay? Just do your best and have fun. Appreciate those around you. And just a future thank you in advance to anyone who leaves in the comments, you know, supporting things. I'll be checking the comments, of course, but just a future thank you to everyone. So yeah, I don't know when I'll be back, but I'm just going to take some time. I'm just going to take some time with my family, so see you guys.